Eat your vegetables, kids, because hey, you hate it, but you gotta do it.
Hey y'all, welcome to another Soul Food Sunday. Come on in and have a seat at the dinner table and make yourself at home. This week the menu looks a little different, and that's because I'm cooking things that I have never cooked before. Speaking of the menu, let's take a look at what I'm cooking today. Yeah, this is going to be interesting because I have never cooked okra and I hadn't cooked a carrot cake in years. So we're going to see how this turns out, y'all. Let me get in this kitchen and get to cooking. For the carrot cake, I'm starting with 4 room temperature eggs. I'm going to give them a head start in the mixer before I add 1 cup of room temperature milk. I'm also going to add 2/3 cup of butter instead of oil. This is the recipe that I follow when baking a boxed cake mix. Doing it this way not only saves time, but it takes your cake to a whole new level. Now I'm going to add a few boxes of raisins to the batter. I wanted to add pecans or walnuts, but 2 of my kids have nut allergies, so I left those out. Now, when I'm baking for huge family gatherings, I do add nuts and I label the cake saver so that my kids know not to eat it. They have so many options at these family gatherings, so missing out on one cake won't be the end of the world for them. Once I get all of the batter out of the bowl, I'm going to give it a good shake and a few taps to remove air bubbles. Doing this small gesture helps your cake bake evenly, resulting in a light and airy texture. I'm giving it the toothpick test to make sure that it cooked all the way through, and then I'm going to let it cool before adding frosting. I'm making my frosting homemade because it just tastes better. I'm starting with room temperature cream cheese. I just needed it to soften enough to mix with the other ingredients. Then I added 2 cups of powdered sugar, followed by a half cup of butter and a few drops of vanilla extract. Since I'm making herb butter pork chops, I figured that roasted red potatoes would pair well with that. I've washed my potatoes in cold water and now I'm slicing them into small to medium sized pieces. The smaller they are, the quicker they will cook. I chose red potatoes for several reasons, but the number one reason why I bought red potatoes is because a 5-pound bag was on sale at Joe V's for $2. There is so much that I can do with a 5-pound bag of potatoes, y'all. But the other reason why I bought red potatoes is because it's a good source of potassium, fiber, vitamin C, and B6. I'm always looking for more ways to get that fiber in. Now I'm adding seasoned salt, herbs, and black pepper. There are no specific measurements because I'm adding to taste. I did drizzle olive oil onto the potatoes before adding any of my seasonings, and the purpose for adding the oil is to help the seasoning stick to the potatoes. Now, I didn't want to go overboard with the seasoned salt because I can always add that once they're finished cooking. I always tell myself that it's easier to add than take away, so I try to go easy when sprinkling my spices. So now I'm giving everything a good mix, making sure that all of the spices are incorporated. I used dried thyme, rosemary, basil, and parsley. You can also make this process even easier by simply using Italian seasoning as a substitute for all of those herbs. I've added some Kerrygold butter to my skillet, and now I'm lightly cooking the potatoes just to give them a head start before I place them in the oven. Y'all, I wish that smell-o-vision was a thing because it smells so good in my kitchen. This is how my potatoes are looking before I place them in a 13x9 baking dish. I'm going to place them in the oven at 400 degrees for about 20 to 30 minutes. I cut the cooking time in half by cooking them in the skillet first. Who am I kidding, y'all? I have never in my life cooked okra or even had a desire to cook okra. My parents used to cook this all of the time when I was younger, and I didn't like that slime. They did, however, introduce okra to my kids, and my middle son asks for it occasionally, and I avoid it every time he asks for it because I just could not deal with the slime. But I heard that if you fry it, you can avoid that slimy texture altogether. So that's what I'm doing today. I'm going to have a wet station and a dry station. I'm whisking 1 egg and then adding a cup of buttermilk. You can use regular milk, but this buttermilk was heading towards expiration, so I wanted to use it versus having to throw it away. And now I'm just seasoning my wet ingredients with salt and pepper. Now it's time to build my dry station. I'm going super old school and using a brown paper bag. It's what my grandparents and parents used, so why not? For my dry ingredients, I'm adding flour and Cajun seasoning, and then I'm going to give it a good shake to mix it all up. Now, this is where you don't want to be skimpy with the seasonings. Otherwise, you will have bland tasting fried okra. You can always add seasonings after they come out of the hot oil, but for that flavorful fried okra, make sure the flour is well seasoned. The okra has been dipped into the seasoned egg and buttermilk mixture, and now I'm coating them with flour. I already had my oil heating up on the oven, and so now I did the one test okra just to make sure that it's not too hot, because the worst thing about frying anything is having your oil too hot and your food fries too fast, and that results in it being raw in the middle, and we don't want that. Right now I'm going through with my tongs and flipping the okra over so that it cooks evenly on both sides. Now this is where a deep fryer or an air fryer would come into play. I wish I had one, but I don't. I've been researching air fryers, and I think I'm just going to bite the bullet and get one, because I'm the type of person who can research something to death and still not buy it. I think these turned out okay, y'all, especially since this is my first time making fried okra. Now, y'all know my OCD was on another level because I would have liked for them to all be perfectly shaped, but you know, that's okay. We're going to eat it. That's okay. Next up is asparagus, another vegetable that I have not cooked in a really long time. I had my middle son with me when I went grocery shopping the other day, and he picked out okra and asparagus, y'all. He also likes Brussels sprouts, but I have not found a recipe for that, at least one that I can throw together for him. But if any of you know of a good Brussels sprout recipe, let me know down in the comments section, because he asked for Brussels sprouts, but I was like, let's just start with asparagus and this okra, and then we'll work on Brussels sprouts later. So now I'm cooking the asparagus in some Kerrygold garlic butter. I want these to be nice and tender before I add any salt and pepper. Next, I'm going to pour a little low sodium soy sauce, because we all know how salty regular soy sauce is. So I'm just doing this to give it that added flavor. You know, this is something that we would normally not eat on a soul food Sunday. I'm more of a candied yams, mac and cheese, collard greens type of soul food Sunday eater, but you know, it's okay to venture out and try new things. And that's what we're doing today. We are trying new vegetables. I've added a little pepper and gave it a good stir, and now I'm adding salt. I've already tasted one to make sure that the flavor was there, and it was. So I'm just going to take these out of the skillet because we don't want to burn our asparagus, and we also do not want soggy asparagus. To make the herb butter pork chops, we'll need 1 tablespoon of Creole seasoning, 1 tablespoon of Italian seasoning, 1 tablespoon of onion powder, 1 teaspoon of thyme, 1 tablespoon of garlic powder, and 1 teaspoon of oregano. I'm stirring all of my seasonings together so that when I'm ready, I can just sprinkle it onto my pork chops. I took a lime earlier with some water and washed my pork chops. If y'all had seen all of the grease that came out of that water, I mean, it was so nasty, but they are nice and clean now. I'm using a meat tenderizer to poke little holes. That way my pork chops are not chewy and tough. They will be melt in your mouth tender. So now I'm just sprinkling my seasonings onto the pork chops. So I have one hand that I'm using for the meat and the other hand is for the spices, just so that I don't cross-contaminate. Whenever I'm dealing with meat, I stay washing my hands or switching out gloves. I go through so many pairs of gloves when I'm cooking. It's ridiculous but necessary. Instead of rubbing the seasonings into the meat, I'm just patting. I learned that rubbing kind of takes the seasonings off and we want them to stay, so that's why I'm patting them. Also, since I poked little holes in the meat, the seasonings will fall in there, giving it that added flavor with each bite. So now I'm just going through and adding a little smoked paprika and some salt. The paprika is really to give it that added color and a little smoky flavor. And now I'm going to do the same thing with the back of the pork chops. I want to make sure that I season both sides of this meat. So pretty much I'm just repeating the same process that I followed with the other side of the meat. Again, we want this meat to be nice and tender, not chewy and tough. Pork chops are well seasoned. I'm going to melt some butter in my skillet. I'm just using regular Kerrygold butter. I'm going to place my pork chops right on top of that butter and then I'm going to let them cook until it's nice and golden brown.
Welcome to Jordan's Reviews. And today, which is Soul Food Sunday, I believe my mother calls it.
Yep.
What we have here is this not steak but pork chop.
It's a pork chop.
Okay, we have a pork chop, asparagus, whatever the heck you call this.
A fried okra.
A fried okra.
Yep, fried okra, and we have roasted potatoes.
And roasted potatoes. This looks like something I'd see out of an Olive Garden. Maybe not Olive Garden, but I don't know.
What you know about Olive Garden?
I know a lot about Olive Garden. I went like once. One time, but I know everything. Maybe not everything, but maybe a few things. Oh, okay, friend. Okay, I think this is gonna be my favorite one. This is a carrot cake.
He going straight for the cake.
I ain't gonna eat it now, but I want y'all to see it. This is probably gonna be my favorite takeaway because, of course, if you don't know me, I really love carrot cake. A lot, actually. Not above red velvet, though. Red velvet is my top favorite. So, all that being said, we're just gonna start with the tiny okra so I can actually see what the heck this tastes like.
Have you had okra before?
I've never had okra before, so this is gonna be the first time for everything. So, let's try it out. It's actually not that bad. No, it's actually pretty good.
Did it taste slimy?
No, it tasted very crunchy.
What? See?
It was like very crunchy, very down to earth flavor. It was like, let me see, almost like chicken, but kind of like crispy chicken, and then but you stuff something healthy inside of it, and then it's like into a small package, and then that's kind of the taste. Overall, pretty good. It's decent.
Look at that.
Now on to the asparagus.
Tiny piece now. Do you even eat asparagus, Jordan?
Yes, I eat asparagus. Okay.
Ooh, and it has some crunch to it.
I love it. Now, dude, I think I'll eat just about any vegetable. Just not spinach. No, the last time I had spinach, I think I wanted to wash my tongue. Like it was disgusting. Now, okay, that's probably just my opinion. Spinach is probably good to a lot of you out there, but for me, I'd probably burn it out in my backyard. I'm sorry. No, it came from the earth. I'll put it back in the earth. That's how I go. So now on to the, what was this, mashed potatoes?
Roasted potatoes.
Roasted potatoes. As much as I'd say like that is good, it is delicious. It's good. I just don't like potatoes, so I'm going to set aside my personal bias so I can attack this analysis without prejudice. Delicious mashed potato. Now, personally for me, I'm shocked I didn't spit it out. I consider that a victory today. That's a step forward in the right direction, because that's a healthy potato. So, yeah, okay, pretty good. Seasoned to perfection. Delicious. It has that mushy potato feel, and it's pretty much all you would be looking for in a potato. Is it for me? But that's besides the point. Let's go ahead and eat this steak.
Pork chop.
Pork chop. Okay, we're just gonna try to take a
tiny piece.
There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Absolutely delicious. Okay. I love what you did there. It's a perfect, chewy, soft texture. The taste is immaculate. Okay, I say that much. And I keep getting them misconstrued. Pork chop, correct?
Yep.
Okay, I think I have a little bit of memory loss. Okay, pork chop's delicious. But now, my favorite, carrot cake. I just want to get one last good look analysis on this because this is about to be the last time you'll see this cake. I'm sorry, it's about to disappear. Be it by me eating it all or hiding it all, because it's not going to be here much longer. So we're just going to take. I want to get a tiny piece with everything in it, kind of like, I guess maybe around here. I want to get the frosting. Okay, so we're just going to take a good old bite here. Did you hit up Bugs Bunny? Because that was delicious. I'm concerned you hit him up for this cake recipe. 10 out of 10! Freaking love it. Hold on. Pump the brakes. Backtrack. I'm going to get 1,000 out of 10.
Woo, 1,000 out of 10, y'all.
Delicious. Okay. Now, with all of this immaculate soul food meal, food meal. All that together, that is definitely, I'll give it a 10,000 out of 10. Did I say, no, I said 1,000. Okay, 10,000 out of 10. It's delicious, incredibly. It's both healthy, tasty, and it's good for you. Eat your vegetables, kids, because, hey, you hate it, but you gotta do it, because you grow up big and strong. I don't have the muscles to show it, but you know what I mean. So all that being said, that's Jordan's reviews. Big Mac attack, I'm out of here.
That cake did not survive 3 hours in my house. I mean, they tore that cake up. And I only got one slice, y'all. In my head, I was eating that carrot cake for dessert tomorrow because I thought it was gonna last at least 2 or 3 days. No, that thing didn't make it past 3 hours, if that. But you know what? That's okay. That is okay, because I'm going right back to Joe V's and get another one, because that one was on sale for $1. You cannot beat that price, because at Walmart, Aldi, I don't even think Aldi sells, no, they don't sell carrot cake. So Walmart, Albertsons, and Kroger, I would probably pay around $2 to close to $3 for a box of cake mix. So paying $1 for that's a good deal, y'all. That is an awesome deal. So awesome that I'm going right back and getting another cake mix. I didn't think my family would like it as much as they do, because I don't even think my kids have ever tasted a carrot cake that I've cooked. Now I do know my sister cooked one not too long ago. Well, it was about a year or two ago. And I remember them talking about how much they liked it, but they didn't say anything else about it since then. So that's why I've never cooked it. So now that I know that they like it, I can start adding that to the menu. Next time I cook a carrot cake, I'm just going to cut me an extra slice, wrap it up, and stick it in the refrigerator next to the cucumbers, because nobody in this house intentionally go digging for vegetables, so it should be safe next to the cucumbers. But anyway, what are y'all cooking today? Let me know down in the comment section. I do see a lot of dinners that in my mind I be thinking like, man, if only I had an invitation to their house so that I can taste this dinner, because that stuff y'all be cooking for Sunday dinner, it be the bomb.com. It have me wanting to show up on your doorstep with a plate. So who's going to invite me to their house? Because you know I will definitely be there with my plate. Now I'm just kidding, y'all. But yeah, that stuff y'all be cooking, it sounds so delicious. And in my head I'm thinking like, I wish I could cook like that. Barbecue, smoked ribs, like just smoking anything. I can't smoke anything on a grill. My dad tried to teach me, but I was half paying attention, and now I wish I should have paid attention. But yeah, stuff like that, things that I know that I don't know how to cook, I'm gonna have to get in this kitchen and practice. I'm gonna have to go buy a smoker so that I can learn how to smoke some meat, or have my husband have him get out there and learn how to smoke some meat, because we are missing out on some meals, y'all, just because we are limited with the amount of things we know how to cook. But yeah, the 2025, we fixing to learn how to do some things, y'all. We are really fixing to learn how to level up these cooking skills. But yeah, I pray that you all have an amazing day, and family, we will chit chat in the next one. Talk to you later. Bye.